Warning, spoiler alert, what you're about to see is very, very risky behavior. Hey guys, so what I have in front of you here right now is not what we're going to be playing tonight. The reason I'm showing you this is because this is around what I was doing with Spanish Inquisition the last time I was playing with it. The whole Force of Will was like a recent test. I wouldn't necessarily show that as part of the equation of this is what I was doing, right? I think that was just like the latest kind of spice that I was trying to mess around with. But basically, the whole LED, Echo, Entomb, Tendrils deck, right? This was actually a Belcher deck, and of course, no Beseech was printed, so we were playing the Draw Force. Now, let's flash to the list that we are playing tonight. So this is a list that Quentin Coldman has been curating. They put up some good results, solid player, deck builder, and it has that same feel of Entomb, LED Echo, with Bowmasters as an alternate win con and Tendrils. Now, I showed you both lists not to sit here and say, oh, this is, I was already doing this, or he copied something. None of that. The reason I showed it is because I think this sort of thing is very powerful. I haven't touched Black Saga Storm much in the past, 4 or 5 months, and I haven't really touched Spanish Inquisition. There's a whole mono black storm with sagas or not section of Magic that I just haven't really tended to for a while. And I think what Quentin has been doing has been excellent, to just put it blunt. And so I'm very happy that Discord user B3 Money sent me another dono deck so that we can see it here on the channel. So when I was building those Spanish Inquisition lists, it was a combination of trying to meme, but also trying to push it and optimize, right? So there were certain things that we were staying with to keep it traditional and meme-ish with SI. Things like the Draw Fours, or of course Culling the Weak, right? But I think this deck is this is the sort of thing that I would want to see if you're looking to take some of what that deck was doing, the more legitimate, powerful, and competitive components of it, and just kind of mash it up with Black Saga Storm. This to me is like a mashup between Black Saga Storm and Spanish Inquisition. And yet it is very different from both in a lot of different ways. So it's super unique. I don't necessarily know how to classify it. I know Quentin's pretty, was expressing it's basically just a different style of Black Saga Storm. Technically, I suppose that's true, but it just doesn't play similar, at all, right? Black Saga Storm is this very linear, plays a bunch of baubles, draws a bunch of cards, but it doesn't shuffle, it doesn't echo. So, I don't know. Over time, I'm sure we'll figure it out, but that's not the important thing. The important thing is showcasing the sweetness of the list. So we have a lot of the usual suspects when it comes to Black Saga Storm. We have Saga, we have Altar Whispers, we have a bunch of fast mana in the zeros, so Chromox Petal, Opal, LED. We have our one guy as well so that we can leverage Beseech the Mirror, and this is a 4 Beseech the Mirror deck, which does certainly make sense to me. And what playing Beseech the Mirror instead of Ad Nauseam does for you, or at least one of the things it does for you, is it allows you to play Agadeem's Awakening, which is spectacular for a deck like this. If Black Saga Storm could pull off playing this card, it would. Obviously, as an Ad Nauseam deck, it doesn't or can't. I have tried it in some capacity in the past because I'm a madman, but it's not advisable. However, no ad nauseam, perfect. It's mostly so that we can imprint from Chrome Mox, which is huge, especially when you're echoing. Whatever importance, and I've said this so many times, especially in regards to the Epic Gamble, but whatever importance you place on MDFCs, these imprintable lands, and how they enable Chrome Mox in a deck, say, like Initiative, Oops All Spells, all these decks that play this card simply so that it can be imprinted to Chrome Mox, and they look at one opener per game, right? Or they might mulligan and whatnot, but they keep one opener. However, this deck spins the wheel a bunch when you're echoing 2, 3, 4, 5 times a game. It's that many more times important. Also, as you spin the wheel and echo, you get to exile lands. So you only get one land per turn. If you're going to spin the wheel a bunch with echo, you would love to be able to exile your lands as you do it, right? And you are able to do that. Also, the card just isn't even that bad in this deck. We have Bowmasters, so you can be reanimating Bowmasters. It's a 5-mana Bowmasters. I know it comes up because it used to come up with the SI deck that I was playing. And then, of course, we have a bunch of discard. Now, we're only running 6 discard spells, which is much different from Black Saga Storm, which usually runs 9 or 10. But we have LED Echo. So this deck can do something like discard you, Echo. Echo is doesn't take much resources to pull off, right? We're going to be drawing out Force of Wills with cards like Bowmasters. I too was playing 2 Tendrils in previous lists, especially when you're running Spoils of the Vault. We got to talk about this card, but you can very easily exile one of your Tendrils. And one of the best things about Bowmasters is if you don't have to worry too much about like your win con, right? You get surgical, whatever. It's a totally fine win condition when you're wheeling a bunch, especially with the sagas. Like that fragility that sometimes comes up is just going to be non-existent with this deck. But Spoils. So this card is sweet. This card costs 1 mana. It's an instant. You choose a card name and you reveal from the top of your library until you reveal that card. You put it into your hand. So it's a 1 mana instant speed demonic tutor. However, all the cards that weren't the card that you named, you lose 1 life for each of them. So you can very easily kill yourself with this card. However, I'm sure it's probably good. It's bold. I'll put it that way. It's definitely bold. I'm super excited to play it. It's flashy. It's risky. It's explosive. I love it. And then, of course, we do have Beseech the Mirror, which is going to give us those deterministic, quick and easy Tendrils lines. And then our sideboard is mostly usual suspects for Black Saga Storm. Since we are not an ad nauseum deck, we can enjoy Dismember because we're not as worried about our life total. It's not the greatest with spoils, but maybe we take it out in those matchups. I don't know. We'll have to see how it plays out. And then, of course, we have the cards that come out of Saga. Surge Node is for Chalice. Shadow Spear. Good to get some more game against... It's good against Scam, right? Like the red-based tempo decks is not great. And if those are like when Blue-Red Delver is the tempo thing to do, Shadow Spear, probably not great because it just has you double down right into Meltdown. However, there's a lot of Scam going on, and they have a lot more difficulty with it. Basically, 1 hit with a Shadow Spear, and they're probably done for with a Construct. Haywire Mites, self-explanatory. Aether Spellbomb. I've never loved this card in Black Saga Storm, mostly because it doesn't bounce Collect Roof. I mean, the whole reason for it is Archon. I used to play it when Mono White and when White Plume was around, and that deck was everywhere. I will say it is to the point where Boros is good enough and popular enough where I can get behind it. I can. But what I usually found was that it's tough to find room for it because it does ultimately take up a creature removal slot while not being a card that actually kills Collector Roof. No Fatal Push, so we're effectively on Dismember instead, which, for the reasons previously stated, I think we can actually leverage. And some additional discard and some surgical. So, seems like a very solid list. If I were to really go at it, would I have changes? Probably. I'd have to play the list enough to know, though. I know Quentin, generally speaking, makes very solid lists, so besides the obvious reasons for certain card choices, I'm sure there's more to it that would unfold itself if you were to play more. I do trust Quentin as a player and deck builder. Having said that, I think we should go jam, but just before then, I do want to mention, please check out below in the description. You'll find links to my Patreon. You'll find links to the podcast that myself, Killaby, Punishing Waterfalls, and Newton are a part of. 6 episodes in. It's called Brews of Paradise. Highly recommend that you check it out, obviously. And if you didn't already know, I do, of course, have a Twitch, of which I stream on frequently. Currently, we are near the end of February, and I will be going full-time content creation in the end of April. So a couple months from now, I'm going to be really going hard so I can use all the support I can get. But let's get into it. I'll see you in round 1. All right, here we have round 1 against StrasDaddy, Mark Strassman, lover of Maverick. This hand is probably not good enough. Mulligan. I don't hate this. Let's keep. Bottom spoils. This is sweet, actually. So we can Ritual, Tomb for Echo, cast Bowmasters, go LED, crack it, put Cobalt Therapy in our yard, sack the thing to just make sure. I think I saw Mark playing a Force of Will deck, so I would like to make sure we're not we're not doing that. Let's play Bowmasters, play LED, play Entomb. I guess the other side to this is we're opening to Endurance. I think I'm okay with that. I'm just gonna scoop. The shame. The psychic damage it does when you see a Maverick player playing Force of Will once. Okay, so we have Aether Spellbomb, Feed the Swarms and Dismembers. I really don't like spoils. There's just so much stuff in this deck that hurts yourself. Thoughtseize, Agadeem's Awakening, Dismember, Feed the Swarm, Surgical. Spoils just seems rough. I guess I'll play Haywire Might for Deafening Silence. And then I don't love Aether Spellbomb. You wind up having to bring it in against these Collector Roof matchups, and then obviously it doesn't hit Collector Roof. It's mostly for Archon, but really only so much Archon running around. And the Archon decks play Blood Moon. You can't really justify it longer as a Saga. Alright, we're trimming on discard. Trim on Entomb. Chrome Mox. And a Mox Opal. Never again will I assume Mark has Force of Will. We will keep this. Now we just get to see everything. We get to do it all. What the hell is Moloch? The 2/2. White stuff from an entire creature function. If that creature dies, turn exile it. Interesting. Don't care, don't care. Don't care about anything. I'm a nihilist. Alright, LED. Mobile. Ritual. Tomb. And off we go. I want the black. This should do it. Opal. Vault. LED. And we beseech. Bargain. I don't know this pedal. And yes, I have 2 tendies. I got 2. Nice little turn 1. Alright, this one might be a little bit tough. Maybe I just want faster turn 1s on the draw. We're gonna get Thoughtseize though. Yeah. Red. I wonder if they're on Naya. I should have looked at their hand better. We might not even need Haywire Might. I'm not convinced Spellbomb's gonna be great in this matchup. Yeah, let's take Might out. We do have Feed the Swarm if we really need. Sorry, the card description thing wasn't on. His hand is fine. A little slow, but resilient to discard. Resilient enough, at least. Like, they might just take this Thoughtseize, right? If they have cards that are going to stop us from leveraging Beseech in the first place. No, I took Beseech. That's a good draw. If I play Agadeems, it's kind of playing around Force of Vigor. Obviously, it's going to hurt. But we can always just discard Force of Vigor. We're not going to use it right now. Wasteland's annoying. Zenith is annoying. These are all annoying. Wow. Well, I'm going to take the Zenith because it almost ends the game against us. Bowmasters, we can find our own Bowmasters. They're going to save the Wasteland for Saga, I would imagine. Yeah, Cabal Therapy is a bit too late. I guess I'm still going to cast it so I can hit something. Here comes Bowman. Name Endurance. What do you know? Play a Vault and pass. Maybe we should have played Agadeem's tapped. Yeah, we have, we've got Bowmasters. We have 2 Feed the Swarms. We have ways to deal with this. Red Blast is annoying. Cool. Second Echo. I'm going to play Saga. So that if we draw another one, we can actually play it. Second Echo is not... I mean, if we wind up with an LED, at least we can jam double Echo. So they have 1 unknown. We draw Beseech. Interesting. That might wind up being good soon. It wouldn't be terrible right now. 1, 2, 3. No, it would be pretty terrible. I need LED or a ritual. But it's not the worst draw. Now, I could use it to play a Saga now that we have a land drop. Could use Gaea as well. Or I can just use it to get an LED. Oh, that might do it. So we have 4, 5, 6. We bargain Beseech. We go to 2. Bargain. Gotta be careful with bargaining away artifacts, actually. So we just bargain Opal. Go to 2 mana. Gaia's Will. They land is 3. Rituals 4, 5. Then we can Beseech. Tendrils. That's gotta be enough Storm, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. Okay. There are cards that exist that they could have that would stop this, but generally speaking, we're looking pretty good here. There's no way really to Cabal Therapy. Yeah. Yeah, let's Beseech. 4 Gaia's Will. Cast Gaia's Will. Of course they drew it. They drew fucking Endurance. Come on. It's ridiculous. Okay. You got it, Mark. LED's not really going to save us with this Bowman in play. We need to hit our own Bowmaster. And then LED. And at this point, we deserve it. And a Force of Vigor? Dude! Okay. Alright. Wow. It's always so tilting when the no cantrip decks just draw the exact perfect cards. How perfect is that? They had a Red Blast and a land. And their next draws were Endurance, Force of Vigor. Oh, God. Okay, I'll see you in round 2. Okay, here we are in round 2 against Warlock of the Coast. And I don't really want to keep this, so I'm not going to. Well, this one's aggressive. Yes, it is. Whatever, doesn't really matter. I mean, I'm definitely going. It's not a coward, I was going to say stream, but channel. We go Saga, and we get in. That's what we do around here. We get in. Oh, we're in. Not fantastic, but we're in. Thoughtseize into double Bowman. It's generally a pretty good turn 1. Okay, so they have no red source. If they do get a red source, Blood Moon's annoying. They have 2 of these. They have 2 of those. Caves. Yeah, so I guess we just take Blood Moon. Oof. And hope they don't draw a red source, because if they do, they're playing their whole hand. Maybe I take a sticker, because if I draw another discard spell, I'll want to hit that. No, I think I just want to make tokens as quickly as possible. Which I guess means only playing 1 of these. Was that true? Because otherwise I can't make tokens. Yeah. Yep, and then next turn I think... I don't know. Let's see what we draw. Okay. That changes things. I think I go Vault. I'm going to play this. I think on end step I'm going to play Bowman and then use LED to make a token. I think that's the fastest way to kill them. Assuming we don't draw some sort of action. I'm going to bank on us not drawing some sort of action. No red source, no red source, no red source. Oh, they're just off it? Really? That's surprising. I would have taken 1 more draw if I were them. I'm just attacking on the ground, and then you're going to potentially dump your entire hand. Literally. We take those. Alright. Goblins. Goblins often plays Chalice. Surge Node. Shadow Spear, unlikely to be good enough. Spellbomb's cute, but not so sure. Dismember is good against Sticker. I don't know if it's good enough on the draw, though. Let me trim a Bowman. Trim a couple zeros. Yeah, I guess discard's not great, huh? Well, I suppose it's not terrible. Like, if they start with a Chalice, that'll slow us down. And then we want discard to be able to slow them down. I suppose Cabal Therapy is not the greatest. Be naming Muxus. Yeah, I'll just have the Bowman. This hand's pretty good. Like, it's not... I guess it's not exactly like the on-the-draw hand that you want. If they have a lackluster Chalice hand, then we get to go Saga, Haywire Might. No guarantee Saga gets through, though. They had main deck Blood Moon. Oh, wait, this wasn't even Goblins. This is actual mono red. Because we saw Caves and Blood Moon. I'm a dummy. Not sure if that changes anything. Feed the Swarm, eh? No, that might not even change anything. I guess Shadow Spear is better. There's not going to be Muxus going on. Shadow Spear can actually... Yeah, I think I would want Shadow Spear. I mean, it's a toss-up because they have Blood Moon for Saga, but leads me to be more inclined on keeping this. It's still... I don't think we're favored. I think we're even less favored mulling. There's very few hands that are going to make you favored on the draw against this deck post-board. Alright, Sticker. They had 5. Sticker. Okay. They had 6. And a Sphere, okay. And a Fable. Well, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Okay, so... Saga will give me the fastest route to enough mana. Vault. But there's no guarantees I'll make tokens, so I think I have to play Vault. At least they're not attacking, like, super hard. But that's going to change pretty quickly. Yikes. I'm dangerously close to activating Den as well. Alright. Not a great draw. You really want to hit another land. So maybe I just was supposed to hit Saga. Or play Saga. In either way, this is just pretty ridiculous. Yeah, I guess it was... No, that doesn't make sense either. We just didn't really have outs. A crazy hand. Like, playing Saga turn 1 probably was better, but I don't see anything really getting out of that. Alright, Trinisphere, good to know. So, we're just looking to turn 1 them. Which probably means not trimming on Opal and Chrome Mox. I'll even bring Empty in. And I might even just cut. I mean, they could have Leyline. Maybe I'll play 1 Might. But Cabal Therapy can go. Yeah. Oh, Shadow Spear. I'd rather have Shadow Spear than Thoughtseize even. Even a Spell Bomb. So it draws a card. I'm just going full on attack. Doesn't work. Mulligan. Doesn't work. Mulligan. This works. This works. Bottom. Bottom. No Leyline. Thank you. Get in. Get in. Get in. Inside Diamond. And spin it. Oh. And save targets. And pedal. LED. Oh. Oh, where'd you go? This could be 7, 8, 9. We're going to make 18 goblins and 2 orcs. Nice. 1-1, see you in round 3. Okay, round 3 against Will-O-Wisp 11. We've won the die roll. We take those. It's a lot of Entomb, but I guess Thoughtseize into Echo is good enough. Well, let's see. What do you got? No way, dude. No way. In no universe is that correct, unless you're very ashamed of what you kept. Will-O-Wisp, what are you doing over there? All you see is Pedal Thoughtseize. You don't know what's going on over here. Okay. I mean, it will make game 2 super awkward for me, but still. I don't know, man. So, I guess it's pretty low cost to play a Haywire Might. Well, that's it. That's all I'm doing. And I will trim a spoils. I don't know that it's actually good. Like, sure, it'll speed you up in some matchups that you need, but holy Christ, is it risky. I guess I'll keep. I'm just gonna turn one us. Oops, all spells. Nope. Misty Pass. Let's go Petal, Opal, Vault. We will end step Bowman and untap and echo. Hopefully we draw LED so that we can echo twice. Cast the cantrip, definitely casting Bowman. That's not a cantrip. That is a Magus of the Moon. Okay. It's fine. I mean, I could kill it by ambushing it next turn, but it's not going to stop me from echoing here. They might have other cards that are going to stop me. Like Trap, which we could have played around. I probably should have thought of that and played Petal. But I'm just going all in instead. While we're here, it's a mountain. Dark Ritual, blue, and Trap. 100% chance this is getting trapped, right? No? Wow. That's crazy. We're gonna echo again, too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These can hit Magus. And I'm gonna Thoughtseize you. Oh, boy. Okay. Let's see if I cast Opal and they hit these two. It will be turned off. Let's cast it, see if they want to do it. They don't. We're going to cast Thoughtseize. We're going to take the other Force Negation. Then we're going to Ritual. What? Come on. Then we're going to Cabal Therapy you. You're going to Force of Vigor us. Yeah. Pitching Force of Vigor. We're going to hit Lorien Revealed. We just hit the other card and then hit him for 8. There's no one card that's going to get him out, right? So if I echo, well, there's no one card that's going to kill these, so we'll do that. They're going to scoop to it anyways. Yeah. Okay. Easy peasy. It was crazy that they scooped to that Thoughtseize. Absolutely nuts. See you in round 4. All right, here we go. Round 4 against EmperorOppai. We won the die roll again. That's the spoils. Well, we're going in, baby. We are going in. Like, deep. If we die, we die. We go Petal. We go spoils. They are F6'd. No one to lose to but ourselves here. Ooh, it's only one card down. Saga. LED. LED. And we are spinning. I guess 2 blue's fine if I have 2 black. Let's Ritual. Cabal Therapy. I guess I'll name Force of Will. It's pretty clear they don't have it, but double Daze, double Reanimate, Entomb. Interesting. Okay. Definitely gonna go Bowmasters. Spoil seems unnecessarily risky. Yeah. LED. It's Entomb for an Echo. Oh, they're off it. Sweet. Alright, this is gonna be a tough matchup, though. We want these. Kind of want Spellbomb. Not really. I mean, it's nice that we have Bowmasters. Want the Duress. Spoils is too risky. Trim and Tomb. Trim and Opal. And a Gromox. Sand is pretty good. As long as we don't get discarded, we might. We might get discarded. Nope. Saga. I almost want to take my time with this. No, we want to beat Bowman. Don't want to play Saga. We can bring out a Daze here. Let's play Saga. Yeah, we're going to name Force of Will. We're going to hope they don't have Force of Negation, Fluster, Pierce. I'm going to Entomb, that's fine. It's going to get shuffled. Force of Will. If they want to Daze and pick up their land, I'm cool with that. Because they're going to shuffle it in. Look at this fucking hand, huh? This deck is so dumb. Entomb, Reanimate, Force of Will, Daze. And here we are in a position to potentially turn one it. They did. Okay, so they've chosen to pick up all their permanents, or their one permanent, and shuffle it into their deck. Alright. So we've turned ourselves back onto the play with 8 cards. We took the play and the draw? I like it. We still might have trouble, because this deck is stupid. F6. Okay, I was going to say, if they don't take Surgical, I will un-F6. Yep. Guess they take Beseech here. Took Dark Ritual. Okay. Pedal's not bad. Let's play Saga. Play out this pedal. Bowmasters still kills my thing. Maybe I was supposed to play Vault, so that it would be a 2-2 if I make a token. I guess that just means I'm not going to make a token on instant. Well, now I can. Wow, we might just run them over with these Sagas. They opted to play a land before they pondered, despite being in the face of multiple Sagas. I mean, if they string together, you know, some reanimate nonsense, then things are definitely going to change. Let's make a dude. Thoughtseize is not the worst. Not the worst at all. We go get Opal. Play Vault. Thoughtseize you. If they have a daze and they're smart, they would daze this. Yeah, Brainstorm's annoying. It still puts pressure on them, though. I think it's awkward when you have, like, fetches and you want to hide 2 cards, but you need to use your fetch. At the very least, if there's 2 cards they don't want me to Thoughtseize, they have to wait 2 turns to access both of them or cast another cantrip into it. They did have a daze. They do have a wasteland. We're going to have 2 tokens. Entomb's not scary unless they have reanimate coming. If they have reanimate coming, then that's going to take Bowmasters. Or that's going to bring back Bowmasters if I take Bowmasters. I feel like everything here tells me they have reanimate. And it's possible I can beat Bowmasters. It's unlikely I can beat, like, Archon or some shit. I'm going to take Entomb and make another dude. We get in for 4. And then they're going to wasteland us. Yeah. And then they're going to play Bowman. I really just want an artifact here. One of the worst draws in the deck. One of the reasons I don't like this card. It's super clunky. Vernal Tutor copies Sagas. Something of note for sure. Still going to attack. We got to pressure them. We're going to play Bowmasters. I'm going to ping one of my guys and then block it with Grief. Yeah. And trade and chump. Okay. We're at 11. This is also a known card. It's a fetch land. Gotcha. Surveillant Entomb. Not going to attack. That was a really good draw. It was an extremely good draw. But they have this daze. I'm almost positive they have another Bowmasters here. Why else wouldn't you attack? Damn. That's problematic. Unless they're bluffing. Not attacking a bluff? Do we have to attack? If they Bowman, they ping us with 2 Bowmans and a... Man, I think we have to attack. I don't think we win this if they have Bowman. Okay. It was either a bluff or a mistake. That's another reason to attack there. It's entirely possible they just misclicked or, you know, weren't really thinking. Your opponents aren't always making perfect plays. They're going to continue to do it. We'll feel a lot better if we can draw a mana source. We do not. Not a chance. Well, they played another land. I feel like, yeah, they don't have it. Now what? Well, at least give me an artifact. You know? I'm going to Entomb. I guess a Cabal Therapy. Draw. Perfect. Now we get to put lethal on the stack. Or, we have lethal on board. And they got a chump with their Bowmasters. That's sweet. I mean, we could have gone for the kill. Maybe I should have. Maybe I should have. It may have been a mistake. I'm going to reanimate their Bowman and hit me. I'm going to play my Bowman, hit their Bowman. They're going to scoop. Wow. Didn't expect to win that one. Ritual would have been good. Okay, we're 3-1. See you in the final round. All right, here we are against Motown 4, which usually has some wild brews. Most of the time, I see them playing like Gruul Initiative, but with Chrome Moxen and Mox Diamond I think even the One Ring, it's like just totally revolved around the most volatile turn 1 that you can do within that archetype. Okay, this hand is probably not good enough. We need a black source. This mulligan, this one is good enough. Just shy of great. Let's keep, and bottom, probably opal. I'm torn between turn 1 Bowman or turn 1 Thoughtseize. Given what I know about their playstyle, I think I'm going for Thoughtseize. Yep, I told you. So it's Naya. It's quite the hand. An ugly hand. I guess I take Mox Diamond, right? We'll play out Saga. It's possible I wanted to wait a turn on Saga, but I don't think so. I'm probably just going to be looking to Echo. If we can Echo with Bowman and play, we're just good. We don't have to maximize getting tokens. We did it. We got it anyways. I still think I want a Bowman. Really? Trying to think if that means I want. No, I can make a token on my upkeep. We can't actually kill them through a One Ring, right? We cannot. Yeah, I want to play Bowmasters. Instead of making a token, I'll make a token on my upkeep. Or, you know, main phase, whatever. Make a token. Still gonna get a Lion's Eye Diamond. And we'll pass it over. We'll hit our thing. Keep in mind, even if your orc is a 1/1, you can still target it. It won't die. Don't worry. It gets the counter simultaneously. Alright, they need to find a white source so that they can kill Bowmasters. They did. Imprint, cast swords. Yep. Now we gotta hope they don't find another One Ring. As long as they don't, we should have this. That's ugly. That is ugly. Alright, we'll play out Petal. And time to get after it. Yeah, I can't imagine Spoils is worth it. I mean, we have 4, 5, 4. If we Spoils for, no, Tendrils, that's too risky. We only have 2 Tendrils. Thoughtseize, this blocker is actually pretty annoying. I guess I'm going to Spoils for LED. I mean, we could Entomb for an Echo. I think we have better odds of going for additional mana here. Better odds of actually winning. Come on, don't kill me. Oh my god, it put me to 2. Oh, jeez. Brutal. So, Entomb for Bowman and Bring It Back is actually a line that exists. It's pretty funny. It's a 6-mana line, but does exist. Alright, we're at 2. That is death for them. That was a close one. Super close one. Oh yeah, you exile a ton of shit too, huh? I didn't even think of that. We did exile one of the Tendrils. That's the primary reason why you're playing 2 Tendrils in this. I probably should have checked and made sure we didn't exile both of them. Okay. So it is as we expected. I like Haywire Mites. I feel like Magus is going to be in there. So I don't think I want to go in on Shadow Spear. In fact, I think Saga's just going to oftentimes be too slow. I guess I'll play Surge Node. Empty's reasonable. I need Dismembers. The funny thing is, they might just not even really have block pieces and just be super aggro. I expect Chalice, but Dismember might not even be necessary. Let's cut discard. Just full stop. Get it out. Let's see if this pays off. I guess I could play Spellbomb. I should probably be playing Spellbomb. And they might have, what's it called? Collector Roof. Like, his hand is great against lock pieces, unless it involves Magus. But really bad against just like turn 1 initiative. I'm going to keep it for science. And turn 1 ring. Okay. Petal. Let's go LED. Opal. Saga. Pass it over. Hopefully they can't chain rings. Hopefully they don't find Magus. They are going to rapidly reduce their own life total. Some Inskin Boo. Okay. But we're going to be popping off here. Beseech. Probably just have a Beseech kill. Right? We go Chromox, Imprint. We got the 4 necessary to Beseech, Bargain, Beseech bargain, Beseech bargain. Then Gaea's Will gets 3. I can't bargain away the vault, otherwise I won't have Metalcraft. And this isn't going to make mana. 3, yeah, we need the opal for the 4th. Yeah, I mean, it is lethal. Actually, I don't know if that's enough storm. Actually, yeah, it is. I'm pretty sure it is. We go bargain this away. I guess I don't have to hold priority yet. Beseech, bargain this away. Beseech, hold priority. Bargain, make black. Guys, will. Cast will. Doesn't feel like they have anything. Opal. Oh, I'm forgetting about the additional mana from that LED. They have plenty of mana. Plenty of mana. Cast with bargain. They probably have swords. So let's get LED. Cast LED. Black. Bargain's not even necessary, but I'm doing it. LED. Cast LED. Now bargain is necessary. And if we get trapped, we get trapped. I think we were exactly 1 mana away from being able to discard them during that chain. Well, I was just trying to tell them that it was Quentin's list. But they conceded just as I was about to send the message. But good games, Motown. Alright, a 4-1. So, there's a lot to like. There's some things I don't love. But I'll tell you what I do like a lot. Something that is conceptually new, exciting, and wildly different in a way that fixes something that Saga Storm tends to struggle with, especially when you're playing Beseech the Mirror. The awkwardness, here's 2 things. 1, the awkwardness of Gaea's Will, being a card that you draw, that is greatly alleviated, especially in comparison with a deck like Black Saga Storm, mono Black Saga Storm. It plays a bunch of baubles and draws cards in a linear fashion, right? To me, Echo is circular. Linear meaning you're just drawing through your deck. It's not completely linear because you do shuffle with like Infernal Tutor and stuff, but you don't shuffle your deck. You don't put cards back into your library and shuffle. Your graveyard is always sitting there. And if you draw guys with Black Saga Storm, it's super awkward. This deck, having Echo, is awesome in that regards. 2, Black Saga Storm does not necessarily mulligan all that well, right? It does in that even 5 and 6 card hands can be extremely explosive and powerful with Black Saga Storm. But against decks with a lot of interaction, that becomes less true. The more interactive your opponent is, the less that is true for traditional Black Saga Storm. This deck, however, is a 4 Echo, 4 Lion's Eye Diamond deck with a bunch of discard spells. So, in the event that you have less than perfect openers, it is extremely good at mulliganing because you have not only the power of Echo and LED, similar to the Epic Gamble, right? The Epic Gamble also has Defense Grid and Galvanic Relay. This deck has the 6 discard spells. It is very unique in that fashion. I refer to the Epic Gamble because the Epic Gamble is really the only other deck that is doing that as much. Like to the point where it's a defining feature of the deck. So I think this deck is very aggressive, attacks from a lot of different angles, alleviates the awkwardness of Gaea's Will, doesn't lean on it because it has not just tendrils but bowmasters, and mulligans extremely well. This is not just some random or gratuitous mashup of Spanish Inquisition and Black Saga Storm. This is the result of a good deck builder going down a path and making deck building decisions to achieve particular goals and fix particular problems, or at least that's what it looks like to me. So, generally speaking, I love this deck. I love this list. I love the idea. I think it's unfair to call it a different version of Black Saga Storm simply because it deserves more than that. It is more so than when I first started. I am willing to accept and understand why Quentin considers it as such, because it does in a lot of ways feel very similar to Black Saga Storm. It has that explosive starters based on fast mana artifacts in Urza Saga, and not just kind of winging it with Saga, but it's a very powerful Saga deck. The synergy is all over the place, right? But at the same time, I think it is different enough that it may deserve its own deck name. I think it has a lot in common with Spanish Inquisition, or at least the route in which I was taking Spanish Inquisition. Okay, so what do I not like about the deck? I don't think I'm sold on spoils. I think it's an unnecessary risk in an otherwise very powerful and smooth deck. I think it would be just fine to play Infernal Tutor even. It is, on occasion, awkward with Echo of Aeons, but it is extremely powerful with Saga, extremely powerful with Chrome Mox, extremely powerful with Lion's Eye Diamond, extremely powerful with Orcish Bowmasters. The ability to copy sagas is actually a very frequent feature of Black Saga Storm. The ability to search out a saga if you're hellbent. When Saga's your best draw, your Infernal Tutors are now sagas. You now have 6, 7, 8 sagas. Being able to copy Bowmasters. And for all its awkwardness with Echo, sometimes Infernal Tutor is just a desperate ritual, right? Or a Cabal ritual, whatever. Because it just gets, if you have a Lion's Eye Diamond, you're looking for an Echo line, you just copy your Lion's Eye Diamond. I don't know that just a even swap to Infernal Tutor is the answer. I do agree with no Wishclaw. It has its own risks in an Echo deck. I didn't want the card in any matchup that I didn't want to go super fast. And I think it's just too risky when you're running so many cards that I think it's too risky if you're not running cards that deal yourself damage or lose life. And we just are. Between Agadeems, Thoughtseize, and then post-board, just even more so. Although, if you bring in the cards that you're losing life, aside from like Surgical, it's mostly matchups that you don't want spoils anyways. But the matchups that you need to go super fast and you would want spoils, like, I feel like the idea is just selling this deck short. Like, it doesn't have trouble going fast. I don't think you need spoils. It's literally, I think, the only thing, aside from maybe the sideboard, not 100% on board with all of the choices. Do you like discard? I don't think you need to feed the swarm, especially when you're running 2 Haywire Might. I've never loved 2 Haywire Might in the past anyways. There's just too much Null Rod and Collector Roof. Like, I want to be able to get this from Saga, but outside of that, I'm not in love with it. Usually, for my Saga target, like, there are spots where Haywire Might's perfect, but I've always run, not always, but for the last couple months of when I was active with Black Saga Storm, I was always running 2 Surge Node. Because this is a card that, it's mostly for Chalice, that slot. Or rather, the slot is better left as a slot that is really good at dealing with Chalice. Whereas Haywire Might is pretty poor at dealing with Chalice. Shadow Spear, I can take it or leave it. I would probably leave it just because it's best against tempo. And you run into a couple problems there, right? Against red tempo, you wind up leaning into Meltdown, which you don't want to do. And it was always good against Scam, or better against Scam at least. But now the Scam decks are Reanimator decks. Rescaminator. That deck is everywhere. And probably for good reason. It's probably broken. But Shadow Spear is not going to hang with Atraxa and Archon. I don't think I like it. It could be worth exploring a song, or at least a One Ring. I would probably play a One Ring. It's maybe not. It's not great with Echo. But I did feel like I wanted some sort of alternative with Beseech. when there was Leyline in play. Maybe it was just that I was supposed to bring an empty. There's going to be times where you don't expect Leyline, they have it. Or maybe I'm just supposed to be bringing an empty a lot more often than I think. I don't know what the answer is to that. Dismember, I was always off because we were an ad nauseum deck. But it's definitely awesome that this deck is able to play it. It's another bonus of not being an ad nauseum deck. Dismember is that much better than Fatal Push or Cut Down. I don't mind the multiple Feed the Swarms. Since we're not an ad nauseum deck, it does make sense. And it dodges Chalice, so now just like all of the creature removal also dodges Chalice, which is nice. I don't mind the 3 surgicals. It's possible with all this Rescaminator shit that we're supposed to just be on a Leyline Helm plan. I know Quentin is one to abuse that combo when it's the right call as well. And last thing I'll say is I don't love Aether Spellbomb. I think you can only devote so many slots to cards that deal with creatures, and the vast majority of the time, the creature that you're dealing with is Collector Oof, which obviously Spellbomb can't hit. I believe Quentin's rationale was it's there for Archon, which I hesitate to say is a fair point, simply because, like, I used to play it when White Plume was around, because Mono White Initiative was the initiative deck, and it was everywhere. It wasn't, for the most part, Boros. We weren't dealing with Magus, for the most part, and so we could reliably go through Saga, and we could reliably get Aether Spellbomb. Well, that's not the case. The initiative deck is Boros. It does play Magus, in some capacity at least, and it's not nearly as popular as White Initiative was when White Plume was around. It is a good deck, Boros, and it is popular, and this is a reasonable card to be playing against them, but for all the reasons I just stated, I'm not sure it's warranted. But that's it. Sweet deck. Thank you again, Brandon, for sending in this dono deck for Quentin's, I don't know what to call it, but we'll figure that out. Black Saga Inquisition, Black Wheels. And of course, thank you, Quentin, for creating this sweet deck. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out the description down below to see all my links, Patreon, Twitch, all that good stuff. And see you guys next time.